Here is the midday news. First, the top stories. INEC registers 36,519 new eligible voters in Ogun State. Governor Fayose sacks all his commissioners. Southeast leaders pledge support to a united Nigeria and condemn IPOB agitation. Coalition of Arewa youths reconsider stance on October 1 deadline for Igbos. Saudi other allies extend lifting of diplomatic ties against Qatar. And 18 feared dead and 30 injured in a Germany bus crash. Good afternoon, I am Chienye Egwuonwu, bringing you the news and details shortly. The International Electoral Commission (INEC) has registered 36,519 new eligible voters in Ogun State within 2 months of the ongoing continuous voters registration exercise in the state. Ifo local government is still topping the table of new registrants with 4,239, according to figures obtained by Rock City FM from the State Office of INEC in Abeokuta for the period between April 27 and June 28. Adodota local government is closely followed with 4,089. Abeokuta South 3,698. Ijebu North 3,266, while Shagam completes the top 5 with 2,469. Others are Ijebode 2,289, Biawasad 2,222, Ikene 1,978, Ewekoro 1,866, and Abeokuta North make up the top 10 with the registration of 1,683 new voters within the period under review. Also, Obafemi Wode has 1,611, Yewa North 1,555, Ikmokia 1,168, Odeda 914, Odogulu 871, Ramonov 788. Imakwafo is closely followed with 763, while Ijebu East is next with 535. Ijebu North East 406, and Ogun Waterside is still at the bottom with 180 new voters. Ogun State government says it is prosecuting no fewer than 8 fake medical doctors in its ongoing fight against quackery across the state. Health Commissioner Dr. Babatunde Ipaye, who made this known to Rock City FM in Abeokuta, says another 3 medical doctors are also standing before the Medical and Dental Council for related offences. Ipaye listed their offences as including impersonation, fake certificate and license, as well as illegal operation, among others. The Commissioner warned that the state government will soon commence the second phase of the exercise in July to ensure the state is rid of quackery activities, especially in the health sector. Since the exercise began since January 2016, Ogun State Muslim Pilgrims Welfare Board says the inoculation and medical screening for eligible intending pilgrims for the 2017 Hajj exercise will hold between Tuesday the 4th to Friday the 7th July 2017. In a statement signed by the Executive Secretary of the Board, Alhaji Abdul Hakim Kalejai, the exercise will hold at the board's headquarters Block B, the State Secretariat at Okemoso Abeokuta by 9 a.m. for the 4 days exercise. The screening, according to Kalejai, is to ensure all eligible intending pilgrims are in sound health before embarking on the journey, while medical information would be gathered there during the exercise, and that will guide the board in offering necessary medical attention to the pilgrims in Saudi Arabia. All intending pilgrims are enjoined to participate in the exercise, which is an essential aspect of the Hajj operations. Governor Ayodele Fayose of Ekiti State has sacked all his commissioners 2 years after he appointed majority of them. It was the first cabinet overhaul by the administration since it came into power on October 16, 2014. Fayose, in a statement by his Special Assistant on Public Communication and New Media, Mr. Larry Olayinka in Ado-Ekiti, says the sack is with immediate effect. The governor directs all the commissioners to hand over to the permanent secretaries in the various ministries. The affected commissioners are Owoseni Ajali Justice, Toyin Ojo Finance, Kayode Ojo Works, BC Kolawole Environment, Lanre Information, Kende Odebomi Agriculture, Kolapo Kolade Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, and Olurotimi Ojo Health. Others are DG Adeso Public Utilities, Jide Egunjobi Education, Mrs. Olayinka Women Affairs, Tayelolu Utitoju Lands, and Benga Olajide Budget and Planning. He thanked them for their service to the state and wished them well in their further endeavors. It will be recalled that majority of the commissioners were sworn in on July 2, 2015, after the governor approved their appointment on December 3, 2014. Major stakeholders in the Southeast region, including governors, National Assembly members, leadership of Ohanes and Dibo, traditional and religious leaders, say they are committed to a united Nigeria. Chairman of the Southeast Region Governors Forum, Dave Umahi Obeboy, who made the region position known in a communique that was issued at the end of the meeting in Enugu, also asked the presidency to begin the process of restructuring of the country without delay. The zone also condemned the indigenous people of Biafra's call for Republic of Biafra and hate speeches, while calling for a country where peace, love, fairness, and justice equity was paramount. They asked the presidency and leaders of all the regions to commence the process of dialogue among Nigerians on the modalities of actualizing the agenda of a strong united country within a reasonable time frame. The Igbo leaders, however, called for the implementation of the 2014 National Conference report. Meanwhile, coalition of Arewa youths are reconsidering their stance on the quick notice issued to Igbo residents residing in the north. This follows the recent position of Southwest leaders on the agitations of indigenous people of Biafra. President of one of the youth groups that issued the October 1 deadline to the Igbo residents in the North Arewa Consultative Forum, Shetima Yerima, says the group is satisfied with steps taken so far by the Igbo leaders in condemning the pro-Biafra agitators. Yerima said the Northern Youth Group initially issued the quick notice because no one questioned the IPOB agitators from causing trouble in the country. The Federal Road Safety Corps says it has referred 80 motorists to mental health facilities for various traffic offences as it commenced pilot exercise for new road safety enforcement policy. Spokesman of the Corps, BC Kazim, speaking to newsmen, says that the offenders were arrested between Saturday and Sunday after commencing the new policy, which kicked off on July 1. He said about 80 motorists were arrested for 86 offences, ranging from driving without seatbelts and making phone calls while driving. Breaking down the operation since the enforcement began, Kazim said 19 people were arrested on the first day for 22 offences, while 61 offenders were arrested for 64 violations of other traffic offences on Sunday. You're still listening to the Midday News on Rock City 101.9 FM. Up next, we bring you foreign, business, and sports news. Please do stay with us. Now on the foreign scene. 18 people are missing and feared dead after flames engulfed a tour bus that crashed on the A9 motorway in southern Germany. The bus was in collision with a lorry near Stambach in North Bavaria. 30 people escaped the fire while some were critically injured. Rescue helicopters joined the emergency workers at the scene. A fire service spokesman said it was unlikely that any of the 18 missing could have survived. People say the tourists were Germans from Saxony. Police have blocked the motorway. There were 46 passengers and 2 drivers on the bus, which was burning fiercely when firefighters arrived at the scene. It's not yet clear what caused the collision. Traffic was reportedly moving slowly at that time. A police spokesman said there were good medical facilities not far from the crash site. Saudi Arabia and its allies have issued for an 8-hour extension to Qatar to accept a series of demands to lift and reinstate the diplomatic ties with the country. Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, Bahrain, and Egypt last June 5 gave Qatar 10 days to comply with the 13 points which it failed to do, and leading to severed diplomatic ties with the country with her Gulf neighbor. The 48-hour extension was issued at the request of the Kuwaiti Emir Sabur al-Sabur, who is acting as mediator in the Gulf crisis. Some of the 13 demands, according to the Arab nations, are rendering support for the Muslim Brotherhood, the closure of Al Jazeera television, a downgrade of diplomatic ties with Iran, and the shutdown of a Turkish military base in the Emirate. Qatar has promised to respond to the demand of the Gulf neighbor through a letter which will be handed to the Emir on Monday. Now in business, Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation (NNPC) says the price of diesel has dropped further within a month from between 175 naira and 200 naira per litre to between 155 naira and 160 naira per litre in many filling stations across the country. The corporation early last month announced that the cost of the commodity had dropped by about 42% within a period of 6 months. The Group General Manager, Group Public Affairs Division (NNPC), Mr. Unju Uhamadu, attributed the crash in price to the recent strategic intervention of the national oil firm. A national survey done by the corporation, according to him, indicates that in the last few weeks, the price of diesel has fallen steadily. Yet that the study has showed that the NNPC mega stations and its affiliates across the country sold the product for 116 naira per litre. Muhammadu said many major and independent marketers in Abuja, Lagos, Kaduna, Onitsha, Enugu, Makurdi and most cities were all selling the product between 160 naira and 165 naira per litre. Finally, sports news. Remo Stars Football Club of Shagam was further compounded after suffering another defeat away from Niger Tornadoes at the Bako Kontangura Stadium in the Nigeria Professional Football League with 27 match. The visiting Remo Stars conceded the only goal of the match when Peter Momo scored in the 59th minute of the game. Other matchday results showed that league leaders Plateau United lost to El Kanemi Warriors by a lone goal, and Sunshine Stars United of Ondo State recorded victory at home against Abia Warriors of Umahia by 1-0, while 3SC of Ibadan defeated Wikitarists by 2 goals to 0. Aqua United also defeated Inimbarababa by a lone goal. Mountain of Fire and Miracles Football Club beat Abubakar Bukola Saraki 2-1 to close the gap on Plateau United, who currently tops the league. Ifeanyi Football Club defeated Katsina United 2-0. Meanwhile, Club Africain defeated Rivers United by 2-0 in the CAF Confederation Cup Group A match at the Yakubu Gowon Stadium, Port Harcourt, on Sunday. The victory took the Tunisian Giants to the top of Group A standings with 9 points, while Nigeria's Rivers remain fourth with 6 points. That was the midday news, and just before we go, the major stories once again. INEC registered 36,590 new eligible voters in Ogun State. Governor Fayose sacked all his commissioners. Southeast leaders pledged support to a united Nigeria and condemned IPOB agitation. Coalition of Arewa youths reconsidered the stance on October 1 deadline for Igbos. While on the foreign scene, we told you that Saudi other allies extended lifting of diplomatic ties against Qatar, and 18 paired dead while 30 got injured in a Germany bus crash. For more stories and to listen to us live, please log on to our website www.rockcityfmradio.com/live. Thank you very much for listening. I am Chienye. Good afternoon.